Good evening and welcome to 549's media coverage of Perham Yellowjacket activities. We thank you for tuning in to tonight's event. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by these fine sponsors: KLN Family Brands, Perham Health, and United Community Bank. Tonight's game is also brought to you by EOT Insurance, Hammers Construction, Horace Mann, Jack Rivers Realty, and Lake Sace Hardware. Also proud sponsors of tonight's broadcast include New Horizons Realty, Ottertail Power Company, Nye Family Sales, Hanson Plumbing Heating, and McCall Construction. Now let's head to the press box for tonight's broadcast here on the 549 Media Network.
Welcome into the Hive. I'm Lance Rock, joined alongside by Jesse Hine and Jason Groth running controls tonight, and we're here for Section 8 AA wrestling tonight as the Detroit Lakers come into town to battle your hometown Perham Yellowjackets in one could be an interesting night of wrestling, Jesse. And one of the things that's happening is we flipped to the New Year's and we're no longer surprised by some of the young kids coming up. We're to the point of the season where some kids have 20, 25 matches in, and we really know what we're looking at.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely, we talked about this earlier in the year. We're finally to that downhill slide of the year. We get the 2-pound allowance heading into the second half of the year, so you're going to start to see some weight changes and guys hopping around. We're going to do our best to hopefully stay on top of those, but there's always some surprises as we get going here in the second half of the year.
Right, and we got the weigh-in sheets coming up here thanks to the coaching staff from both schools. Just tremendous sending us information to get this going tonight. But one of the things we see from the Detroit Lakers is there's a lot of double weigh-ins. And when you get double weigh-ins, we have our projected lineups. We could see a lot of shuffling happening. And sometimes it's to avoid a matchup, and sometimes it's to get to a matchup.
Yeah, it gets interesting as you get down the stretch, and a lot of times it depends on the duel itself, and sometimes it's section implications for later on in the year if you want the matchup now, or maybe you need to get a seed over somebody that you have a common opponent with, or you just got to see how the match shakes out.
Right, and today is a big day if you're the follower of Yellowjacket wrestling or wrestling across the state of Minnesota. The new guillotine rankings came out today, and a little shakeup for Section 8 AA as the Yellowjackets went into DGF, upset the Rebels. We'll in quotations, upset the Rebels. I know both squads had a few wrestlers out that could change the dynamic. Yellowjackets cracked the top 12 at the number 12 seed, and Tegan Detloff jumps one more seed and becomes the number 3 ranked wrestler at 172.
Yeah, definitely a big win for the Jackets heading into hostile territory over there, and lineups are what they are at the moment, and they capitalized on a big win. And for Tegan had a great tournament over at the Rumble on the Red, got on the podium at 3rd place and beat some very, very quality opponents in the process, and just continues to better himself and go look for, the best competition that he can get, and, he deserves it.
Yeah, he is off to a fabulous start, and we'll highlight him and a few other wrestlers coming up. When we come back from the break, we'll be talking about the section where it stands right now. It seems early, but it's getting there where we're going to be shortly, and then what's coming up for the Yellowjackets. So we'll highlight a couple of those things after we see a few words from our sponsors.
What sets the world's leading hospitals apart from the rest? It's their continued ability to deliver the highest quality patient care. Perham Health is honored to be a top 10 Minnesota hospital. Patients experience it, and Newsweek has recognized it. Even during the unpredictability of the pandemic, the nurses, doctors, and many others at Perham Health put their best foot forward. Thank you to everyone at Perham Health for continuing to provide the best patient care.
One of our core values at United Community Bank is reinvesting in the communities we serve. I personally take great pride in this, as I'm a fifth generation in our family here at United Community Bank. We've been here for over 100 years. We take a great sense of pride in sort of that reciprocal relationship we have with our community, that, you know, we need our community members and they need us, and we love giving back and reinvesting.
We take pride in what we send out. When you open a bag of licorice, you want that licorice to look good, you want that licorice to taste good. We work for you. We take pride in what we're making and what we are offering. It is so important to me. I do thank KLN from the bottom of my heart. They believe you and your family is important.
McCall Construction is the Lakes area full-service construction management company, offering a truly personalized experience. From dream homes to commercial spaces, McCall Construction focuses on putting you first with experienced value engineering that delivers on your vision and surpasses your expectations. Whether you already have a plan or you're just getting started, give them a call. McCall Construction will make the entire process so much easier. Call them at 218-346-7070 or check them out on Facebook.
Welcome back to the Hive, and we left talking about section rankings, and it's a little early to start talking section as the lights go out here on us at in the Hive, and we were smart enough to bring ourselves a lamp. But what happened this week, Jesse, is DGF win for the Yellowjackets kind of catapulted them into the number one spot, or the number one seed right now. A lot of things happening. You talked about DGF and Thief River going at it a little bit here tonight, and with a few things. A lot's going to change by the time we're the end. But I think what we're starting to see is you start to see the breakdown of where teams are going to be, and what the Jackets have done is put them into the thick of the top three seeds right now. Yeah,
for sure. They definitely went out and got a big win on the road, which you got to beat all the teams to get to the state tournament eventually, but it could make your path a little bit straighter in a sense. And big match up in Thief River tonight with DGF and Thief River Falls, and that's going to get a lot of implications and different seedings going, but you got to beat everybody. You had a big win, but you can't take your sights off of a team like Detroit Lakes tonight, who's coming to your place trying to knock you off as well. So.
Right. Yeah, and we knew both teams weren't at full strength at DGF, that sometimes that can work for one way or the other, but you got to go feel really good for the Yellowjackets. And, you look at some of those other teams, Thief River, Pequot Lakes, Pine River Bacchus has had a perennial team. Alexandria is one that I think is sneaky this year, and it's because we don't really get to see them. And sometimes I know as being a wrestling dad, you start to look at scores and those kids all of a sudden get better just because you see their record and you haven't seen them actually wrestle.
Yeah, it can definitely be the dark horse as you get down the stretch. No matter what research you do, common opponents you have, when you shake hands in the middle of the mat and the ref blows the whistle, anything can happen. So definitely Alexandria can be an interesting team down the stretch, because again, you just don't have any experience with them. But again, you take one match at a time, and you take the matches as they're thrown at you, and just do what you can. And
we will highlight one last thing on that. The Dilworth, I highlighted two matches watching and listening to that happen. One was at 139 pounds. Chevy Heron in the second period was down like 13-1, 14-1, caught the wrestler from DGF, ended up pinning him. that 12 points is ultimately huge. And the other one that I had, Jesse, was at 189 pounds. They bumped Tegan Detloff up to wrestle Casey Mashesky, who is number 5 at 189 pounds in the state of Minnesota. We've seen him on the football field. The guy's a dude. Tegan went out and majored him, and I think that deflated a little bit some of those hopes that maybe DGF had, and it opened up a whole new avenue for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, it's one of those things that, DGF's hoping for one thing out of that match. Perm is looking for one thing out of that match, and you can definitely, one team's crossing something off and one team's putting a star by it. And you hope to see that make some noise as we get down the stretch. But again, we got to get there. We got to do what we need to do to put ourselves in that spot again, but it shows that you can go with them and you can give them everything they want.
Right, and we got one of the fun nights is as the Yellow Jackets are entering the building, Mat Rat night. I know from having kids on both sides of this, it is one of the really unique nights as a youth wrestler runs out with someone that they're watching and have watched wrestle for a long time. So as they enter the building, I just know I remember my boys being the youth, and I remember them bringing youth out. And for both sides of the story, this is one of those unique nights for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, I can remember when I was a 6th grader, I was Kenny Mekadek's Mat Rat, ironically wrestling against Detroit Lakes, and I got to go shake Brent Eidenshank's hand. And I knew he was going to the Gophers, and Kenny Mekadek was a state champion, and that meant the world to me at the time. And obviously at 31 years old, I still remember it, so it made a huge impact. It's fun to see the kids down there, and the jamboree before the match was fantastic, just to see wrestling grow as a whole and just to see both programs flourishing with a lot of youth.
Yeah, nice night as the captains are meeting. I think at this point we'll step away for a few more commercial breaks, thanking our sponsors. We'll try to thank them verbally more often tonight than the commercials. But we'll step away. We'll come back with some starting projected lineups and probably right into wrestling.
It's not necessary to build your business in Perham, Minnesota to be successful. But it sure does help. Hammers Construction, your vision, our team.
Odds are there's an ace right in your neighborhood. With expert advice and the right tools to make your quick fixes even quicker. Around the block, what you need in stock. With people who know their stuff. Welcome to the Home Convenience Store.
Hi, this is Mallory Stotterell
and Erica Saylor from Lakes Ace Hardware.
You can expect expert help for your next project at Lakes Ace Hardware,
right here in downtown Perham.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When you're running a business, you don't have time for doubt. You need a banking partner you can trust. One who is as invested in the success of your business as you are, and has all the products and services you need under one roof. At Bremer Bank, we're here to listen and learn because you know your business best, and we'll back you up with insightful advice and personalized solutions that help you achieve your goals. Work with Bremer Bank because understanding is everything.
Energy-efficient technologies have the power to connect us all, so we can save more than ever before. Evolve. And make choices that are smart. For you. For them. And for all of us. Because with energy-efficient technologies, we can connect to a better, smarter home.
At New Horizons Realty, we're on your team. For over 25 years, we've been helping families and businesses find the perfect place to call home here in the Lakes area. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just dreaming, we've got the experience and local knowledge to guide you through every step of your real estate journey. As proud supporters of the Perham Yellowjackets, we believe in building strong teams on the mat, court, or field, and in the community. Check out our current listings at PerhamRealEstate.com or give us a call today at 218-346-7767.
welcome back in. We're seeing some starting lineups here. We had some changes that we thought might happen, but it looks like we'll be changing that as we get going. So we're going to kind of hold off on starting lineups for both teams. I think it'll be better coming in, but we do have some highlighted matches that could come up as we look. And Ryan Francis at 189 pounds has been a really good wrestler for the Detroit Lakes Lakers. And we saw the Yellowjackets bump up Tegan Detloff. That could be one of those favorable matches that we would love to see. And again, there's other matches in there. I look at that 114-pound weight class that Dane Weber has had a really successful season too. But it's that high school wrestling, Jesse. You just never know what you're going to get and what's going to happen. So interesting tonight to see how this matchup and if there is a lot of movement or shifting in this lineup.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, as a fan, I hope we get to see some of those matchups just because that's why we're here. But, at the end of the day, you got to see what the goals of each coaching staff are with this duel. And, if you're sitting on a seat ahead of somebody, you may not want that matchup right now, and vice versa. You may go after somebody and make a change if you're looking to jump a seed later on down the road.
Right, and the Yellowjackets are in the thick of a really busy schedule. You talked about Rumble in the Red. They matched up with DGF, who was the one-seeded team, or ranked team in the state of Minnesota up until the Yellowjackets knocking them off. Tomorrow night, the Yellowjackets again are in action. They're going to go wrestle in a triangular with Hutchinson, Buffalo Lake, Hector, and Dawson, Boyd, Laquaparo, Montevideo United, which is it's only 2 schools, but sounds like a lot of schools who bring in a ton of ranked wrestlers. They're both in the lean and mean portion, and the Yellowjackets snuck up into 12 into the rankings. But we see 4 or 5 ranked wrestlers for Hutchinson and 4 for Dawson Boyd as well. So some formidable competition coming up for the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, there's a good tradition down in that area with wrestling, and it'll just be fun to see somebody new. I mean, you get to see these 8 AA teams around here a lot. It's fun to get in the bus with your buddies and go see somebody new and just see what you got against these ranked opponents.
Right, and I think that's one of the things that I have enjoyed about watching this develop as we go and seeing the Yellowjackets wrestle different competition. We're going to see UNC back in the schedule again. They've really got a nice club and have been to the state tournament a couple times. And again, I think we go back to Rob Mosier a lot between you and I, but that iron sharpens iron, steel sharpens steel definitely works out, and I think we're just about ready to wrestle here, Jesse.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
We know for the Yellowjackets at 107 pounds, Beckham Bunkowski is going to be coming out. Question mark on where DL's going to go. Beckham's a 7th grader, 10-8 on the season. Again, kind of cutting his teeth here into the lineup right from the get-go. You see him settling in and doing some things that he didn't at the beginning of the year, and that's the growth you hope to see when you got a young 7th grader.
No doubt. And the last time we were on broadcast here, Beckham had a great win against a quality ranked opponent, and then had another tough match with another good quality opponent. Those three guys definitely kind of beat up on each other, but watching Beckett throughout the year, he's definitely made some huge gains up to this point.
So it is Beckham Bunkowski, and we were right. Sutton Storing had been wrestling for Detroit Lakes. This is Anthony Chilton. He's 0-0 on the season, a junior. So whether it was injury, whether it was wrestle-offs coming in after the Christmas break, or maybe just making weight for the first time at that level, so it's Chilton, Bunkowski. Bunkowski obviously has more mat time with a 10-8 record, 18, and both shoot. Let's see who comes out. Usually high hips wins.
Yeah, Beckham doing a really good job, heavy hips. He's got a good crossface here. Look for him to just continue that hip pressure, work his way around for the 3-point takedown.
And there he gets it. So 3-0 right away from Bunkowski. And again, I like the aggressiveness right off the bat. Both wrestlers coming in, looking for their shot. And here, trying to grab that leg and getting underneath is Chilton. Again, Yellowjackets coaching staff really doing a nice job here with Bunkowski, and he settles in for his ride.
Yeah, one thing about Beckham, you can really tell he's comfortable when he can get to his shot right away, which he did. He set it up. They both went at the same time, and now he's putting on a good ride here, trying to wear out his opponent.
Yeah, all those things, again, you see from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and that's the growth you want to see from all of the wrestlers. And, again, Beckham's doing just a super job with that.
A nice cross-face cradle here. He's going to get some back points, see if he can settle in with 25 seconds left here in the first period.
Again, got nice back points. We're just waiting for the slap of the mat. Again, working hard as Chilton, but just settling right in here. Trying to bury that knee in the back is Bunkowski.
That is tight. He's doing a really good job of slipping his head, they call it.
5 seconds remaining here. Let's see. A lot of Chilton doing a good job, and I think he's wiggling free here, and he does. 4-point takedown, 4-point near fall. No escape on that. I was wondering what would happen. Chilton's choice. He defers. Neutral to start the second. Bunkowski chooses neutral. Shot right back in. And again, an elevator going there. But that's where I see Bunkowski growing. Just settles in, doesn't get, and gets the takedown and back points.
Yeah, he did a really nice job there, just weathering the storm. Making sure nothing crazy happens, just letting it all unfold, and he ends up on top here with there he goes to get the fall. Great job, Beckham Bunkowski.
Yeah, fall in the second period with 35 seconds there. So nice job getting the Yellow Jackets a 6-0 lead to get started, and that's exactly what you're looking for out of 106 pounds.
Yeah, you definitely want a guy to go out there and give you a spark, and it's just fun to see growth, especially out of a young 7th grader, and he's going to continue to grow. The ceiling's high for Mr. Bunkowski.
Yeah, that first match was brought to you by United Community Bank. We'd like to thank them for being such a great sponsor. This 114-pound match between Gage Weber and Bo Bush is brought to you by KLN Family Brands. So 6-0 on the Otter Tail Power scoreboard right now. And again, this is one that we had featured a little bit. Bo Bush coming in. Bo is a freshman, 7-7 on the season. Gage Weber, an 8th grader, 13-6 on the season. And again, this has the makings for a good one.
Yeah, Bo had a nice win the other night against the Rebels up in Glendon, and you just look for him to continue to kind of find his groove here and against a quality opponent.
Again, we'd like to thank United Community Bank and KLN Family Brands for bringing these first two matches for you. As a lot of hand fighting going on right here. Not a lot of matches start out this way. Both wrestlers trying to size up each other and look for that first shot to happen.
Yeah, both wrestlers doing a really nice job with head position here. Both guys trying to maintain that inside position. You can see their feet are always moving. Just doing a really nice job of trying to get where they want to be and score.
So 54.7 remaining on your Otter Tail Power score clock. And yeah, this is one that arm tie. You kind of see some of those Russian arm drags in there. Both wrestlers, nobody's really taken a low shot, Jesse, which is a little bit unusual, I think, at this weight class. And maybe it's the one who takes that first shot who's going to get that initial 3 points.
Yeah, you can see both guys kind of being a little conservative, but we'll look to see who commits to the first one.
And I know that Russian arm tie can really wear on you, and it ends up getting you out of position, which then allows that open leg, and that's how you take advantage. And you really see Weber using that, trying to get into that Russian tie. Bo trying to tie up his hands to make sure that he doesn't get to that, but he's really good at getting to this position.
Well, and more than likely being 20 minutes down the road and these guys only a grade apart, I'm sure they've seen each other before, and there's a good chance of that, and maybe they know more than we know.
Yeah, it's probably one of those where younger on, they were in that early stages of doing the youth wrestling in the jamborees. But Bo Bush has the option. He takes neutral, and Weber says, I'm going down.
Weber doing a nice job firing off the bottom.
Bush doing a nice job extending that leg. He kind of had that, and I thought maybe he was going to get the 2-point reversal, that being Weber. And Bush did a nice job of just kind of flattening out those hips a little bit and staying on the top position.
Stall call right away there on Bush. I think when you got a hold of that ankle, you got to continue to work upward. Bo doing a good job trying to return him here. Weber doing a nice switch there. He's got Bo in a little bit of trouble here. Bo trying to scramble. He's got to keep his hips going.
See, Weber's got that nice hip action, and he gets that 2 reversal to lead 2-0 here with just about a minute and 15 seconds remaining. And again, we look to this to be one of those matches, Jesse, that we thought would be a good one. And it has left us, we're not disappointed up to this point.
For sure. Weber doing a really nice job of pressuring on top. Look for Bo to get back to his base here and get to his feet. Get one here before the period ends.
One thing, heavy pressure here by Weber, and you can tell he's got Bo stretched out. And one of the things, if you can't get up to your base, it's really hard to do, and Bo does a better job there now getting his feet underneath him.
Quick tilt off the stand-up here. Looks like Weber's getting a couple swipes. Referee holding 2.
30 seconds remaining, so still in the same move here, so he won't get awarded these points until he breaks the move, or he now can add on to those 2 seconds and 2-point near fall if he can pull it back over again.
10 seconds left here. Bo fighting tough on that arm bar. Referee still holding 2 near fall.
Bo doing a nice job of just kind of stretching out, playing possum here a little bit, knowing that it's the end of the period. So that 2 near fall makes it 4-0, 4-0. So we have the reversal, 2 near fall, both wrestlers. So it's Bush as he takes neutral.
Yeah, here's where that 3-point takedown makes a little bit of a difference now. You know, 1 takedown puts you at a 1-point match here rather than thinking about having to get 2.
And again, we talked about this rule when we were before. I like it because I think it makes, if you're trying to create more offense, you have to now. You cannot, it used to be you could sit if you were Weber. You can't sit anymore because, like you said, 4-3 and you get put to your back, now you're down. So again, it keeps both wrestlers on the offense.
Yeah, you definitely can't wait around if you're a defensive wrestler because things can kind of unfold on you in a hurry. And if you get a guy who's got some good near fall work, things can get dicey. Bo doing a really nice job putting his hips down.
Stretching them out, but then Weber readjusted here, and you know, it's going to be, I think you always say it, Jesse, high hip wins, and right now that's Weber doing a nice job, and he's got Bush all tangled up in a pretzel. I couldn't tell if it was 2 more or 3 more here, but
he got 3 on the takedown. I can't see what he's holding there for near fall at the moment.
I think he was thinking pin when he had Bush all tied up. Still kind of has him all tied up here. Bush doing a good job getting flattened out. 25 seconds remain in this one. So again, you'd like to get at least 1 turn here. There's some points being held. There it is. It's 4. So it's in the major decision.
We talk about how quickly that can unfold. I mean, we go from Bo almost getting a takedown, cutting it to a 1-point match, to all of a sudden a major decision, you know, off of a counter move. So give Weber credit on that, but really good match, some good positions. Both wrestlers worked hard. Yeah,
they did. And again, the Otter Tail power scoreboard says 6-4 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. We'll head into the 121-pound matchup here. We'll see who the Yellow Jackets send out. I know they've got some options. So this 121-pound match being brought to you is Jared Ohm from DL versus Dresden Wegscheid. Dres in on on an early shot here. This is being brought to you by Nias Family Sales.
Drez getting to his offense right away, trying to work out the back door. He's got to continue to work his feet underneath him, put Ohm in some danger here. Ohm doing a nice job trying to create a scramble, seeing if he can pass a leg. See if Drez can take a big step here and work his way through.
Dresden is a junior, 12-10 on the season, finished 8th at the Rumble in the red, and anytime you finish, I know he had a little bit of advantage of getting a medical forfeit in there, which is you still got to battle, and great for Drez as he's battled his own injuries. Jared Ohms, a senior, 4-7 on the season, so 2 upperclassmen at the 121-pound weight class. Not always the case, so again, we'll see how this matches out. I would guess, to me, Dresden has to be the favorite here, and especially if he wrestles the way he did at the Rumble.
Yeah, when Drez is confident, he stays aggressive, he's tough to wrestle with because he forces guys to constantly be on the defense, and here he is again on a deep shot. See if he can continue to work into that position. He's got to free one of his ankles, try to get a big step here. Ohm doing a good job of tying up those ankles. See what adjustment Drez can get to on one of these shots here. He's in right away again.
And I like the aggressiveness we've seen out of Dresden this year, and that's, I think, turning the page from being an underclassman to that upper class. But Ohms had some nice defense here, Jesse. 25 seconds remain on your score clock, and we've got a lot of things going on. If we have blood timeout, we've got Coach McEachern down there. And Colton Lehman, if there's any injury. Again, blood timeouts are going to be brought to you by Perham Health, the scoreboard by Ottertail Power, wrestler of the match, which we'll be looking for.
Drez doing a nice job there, stepped up from a double leg to a body lock, settled in, just got the takedown. Really nice job. End of the period.
With waning seconds on the clock, so that's a good place to score. Defer by Ohm. Dresden takes the down position to start period number 2. And to follow up, Steve Sanitation will be bringing you the wrestler of the match. I think Beckham Bunkowski already kind of threw his name in the hat there with that early pin, getting the Yellow Jackets going, but a lot of action to go. And if we do have a pin, in which we did, and I forgot, Horace Mann is our pin to win. And with the Dresden's pin, Horace Mann brings you the pin for the win.
Dresden doing a really nice job. Ohm off the whistle, tried to put a leg in. Drez caught it, hopped over right away, knew exactly what position he was trying to be put in, got the reversal, and right to work on an arm bar here.
Right, and those dreaded arm bars, you love it when your kid's got the arm bar going in. When your kid doesn't, it's dangerous on those shoulders and causes a lot of pain. But again, these wrestlers, a nice job by Ohm there, just standing up and getting the escape.
Ohm right into his offense now. Drez hasn't given him much of a chance, but doing a good job. Drez forcing his foot down, going upper body, and getting back to his feet.
Saw those body locks, and it's resembled the upper weight classes when you go body to body. Though everybody sits on the edge of the mat waiting for the boom. We didn't see that of these two, but nice job. Drez is in pretty deep. Just got to settle in now and get his 3.
Really nice job by Drez there. Not trying to go too fast. You heard me talk about that last time. If sometimes when we go too fast, you get a little bit out of control, but you know, an experienced wrestler, he knew the roll attempt or any counter attempt is coming. Just kind of settled in, got the 3.
There's the roll that can scare the death out of you, but is also effective. But Drez goes right into that roll, 10 seconds remaining, heads into that arm bar and doing a really nice job of just containing the wrestler. He has an 8-1 lead right now. He's going to head into the 3rd period. Ohm's choice.
Yeah, this is where I'm sure Coach Fetch is telling him, hey, we need points. Let's continue working, get more team points.
And again, I think it's one of those things that as you get going, you no matter who you're wrestling, you want to make sure that you have the ability, you want to stay on your offense. So a minute 50 remaining here in this period. Dresden in the top position, doing a nice job holding on. Not to play spoiler alert, but we have other action from the Yellow Jackets. The girls go down in defeat 79-50 to the Dilworth Glendon Felton Rebels. Boys to follow in doubleheader action there. Again, Dresden doing a nice job. Again, that arm trying to come through. You can kind of see that on film or on camera, I think, in our angle we've got. Olms trying to reach through, get that. We got a stall on red and nice catch there, but no points awarded as it was a roll through. But Dres doing a really nice job of kind of dominating this. But again, you brought it up, Jesse, 8-1. That's 7 points. We'd love to see some back points here and get that to a major decision.
No doubt, Dres going for a big move there. Didn't quite connect, but got about a minute here to get another one.
And I'm sure Olm is feeling like he thought he could get the escape. He thought he could be a part of that. And again, Dres doing a nice job here now, running the Butcher Series through. He's coming around to the other side, working his way through. Nice job by Olm capturing that wrist, trying to pull it through. 25 seconds remain here on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. And again, Dres doing the ride out here, and a nice job by Dresden Wegscheid. And again, it's looking like at this point, Olm's going to do his job for the Lakers. He's holding off, and there he gets the escape. Dres right in on another shot, looking for that three with 2 seconds remaining.
Should get it. He stepped over. Ooh.
And nobody's really arguing it. Nice job by Dresden Wegscheid. He gives up the escape. He wins 8-2, so it's going to be a regular decision. Makes it 9-4 on our Otter Tail Power scoreboard, and it's going to lead us into the 127-pound weight class. This 127-pound match between Isaiah Vargas and Peyton Trout. Vargas, DL, Trout, Perham is brought to you by Hanson's Plumbing and Heating. So thank you for all of our sponsors tonight, and also to Hanson's Plumbing and Heating. We'll give you a little bit on these guys. Peyton Trout, an 8th grader, son of Coach Kyle Trout. He is 7-9 on the season, and again wrestled up a little bit. Vargas in on a single here. He's looking to capture his 3 points. The coaching staff from Perham's telling Peyton, get up, get your leg back and underneath you. But nice job by Vargas breaking him down. Leg's going to come over the top here, but Trout doing a nice job. But there's the 3. Vargas is a senior, 4-7. So again, you start to talk about, we've talked about it before, kind of the young man muscle to the older man muscle, and Trout's doing a nice job getting to his base here.
Yeah, he was in good position there. I think Vargas just might have muscled him a little bit to get that takedown. But, you know, Trout, as we found out, when he gets to his positions and to the areas he wants to be in, he can be pretty dangerous. So he'll battle here. Hopefully he can work hands here and get a new start.
Yeah, again, Peyton Trout got a lot of reps last year and a lot of matches as a 7th grader, and it's always good to see when you got that youth coming through the program. And we talked about his dad. We should mention the other Perham coaches, head coach Dave Vetch. He's assisted by who we talked about, Kyle Trout, Kevin Felt, Aaron Lawrence, John Hoffner, and Bill Stotterl, and nice coaching staff put together. And that coaching staff, we haven't even named all the names, goes all the way down to that youth program that I know Matt Nagel's done a lot of work with, and you just saw so many kids. So a nice coaching staff put together here by Dave Vetch, and anybody who watched wrestling for longevity knows that Dave Vetch was going to bring some takedown action, as I think he may still hold the record at St. Michael. Nice move by Trout.
Really nice job by Trout there, not panicking, working his way to a reversal right at the end of the period.
Again, Trout defers. It was his choice. Vargas takes the down position to start period number 2. Nice job by Trout. It's a whole different ball game when you go down 3-2 into the second period versus 3-0, and now you would give. It'd be 4-0, and now not even the takedown gets you tied up. So nice job by young Mr. Trout here in making this a battle.
Seemed like Trout weathered the storm here in the first period. I know he's very comfortable on top. He's very good, very good rider. You can see him putting a lot of pressure. He's confident up here. Look for him to get a turn. He's got a cradle locked up already. Brought him over. See if he can settle in.
And Vargas just used all that momentum. So I think we're going to get two near fall and 2 reversal. And with all that being said, we're kind of right back where we started, 5-4, but you could see Vargas, that age right there. He didn't panic. He kept rocking just enough to be able to spin over the top, and that's one where he used Trout's muscle and he used Trout's momentum to his advantage. And again, this is turning out to be one of those good matches. Is here Vargas is trying to capture some back points. He's got that arm tucked behind Jesse, and this has got to be an uncomfortable position for Trout.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of crawling forward. Hopefully he can continue to try to get to his feet here and get back to where he was on top. He was confident. Might have got a little excited with the cradle right away, but I look for him to try to get back on top.
20 seconds remaining as Trout's walking, peeling hands as he gets going. He's trying to get separation as he pushed him off the mat. We get a stall. Okay, so stall number 1 on Vargas, and probably smart on Vargas's end. Now he gets to restart with 18 seconds remaining. Doesn't give up any points, but gets that stall warning number 1. Great job by Trout, right back to his feet.
Right back to his feet, putting the pressure on. Another stall call could be a point here. Should be coming. Nope, Vargas doing a good job of bringing him back down. Kind of koala bearing him right now and rolled the period out.
And again, one of those things I'd say, if you want to, Trout looks determined, Jesse, as he goes right to the down position. I would say Vargas looks very clingy, and those wrestlers are really tough to score against, but Trout's been doing a really nice job, but he's got to stay up on his base.
For sure, and you'll look for Trout to make a little adjustment, whether it be clearing his hands, just one more little thing to try to get away here. Now he's back to his feet, see if he can get to his offense here.
And we're all even, Steven, at 5-5. Minute 40 remaining on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. Trout in on a double leg.
Really nice job. What I like what Trout did there, looked like he might have stopped for a minute, but then he ran his feet all the way out of bounds. Really good job. You can't sit under a guy who might be a hair stronger than you in that position, but Trout really picking up the action, working his way to a single, see if he can shelf it.
He's being the aggressor, and you got to love that as a coaching staff, and I think he's going to get his 3. And a good job here. He didn't settle with that 3. He's going right back to that cradle series, and again, you make that adjustment of posting that elbow a little bit instead of letting that momentum go over the top.
Now, it's interesting out of bounds call there. I saw a few feet that were still inside the mat, and that's that new rule, so I'll be curious. Each official might call that a little bit differently.
And it's interesting. We talked about it earlier. There's one official versus the 2. Sometimes I think you have more leeway when you have more eyes on the mat. There's that cradle, but again, he spins him right over the top, but this time holds on to it.
See if he can just force him over. See if he can hip into him. Not goes quite as straight back. See if he can just run into him. Work his way into a nice, there we go, a little calmer, rock him back.
And again, Vargas has got, that's nice. Vargas had his elbow posted.
Should have got a 2 count. He's got to be a little careful here. 1, not 2.
So 2 near fall for Trout, 1 escape for Vargas.
Heavy hips here. Trout's got to work his hips down to the mat. Does a good job of busting Vargas's hips flat on the mat. Very quick stalemate by the official there.
14 seconds remain on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. And again, you got to look for something big coming here because you need 4.
Ooh, nice misdirection shot by Vargas there. Again, a takedown isn't the end of the world, but Trout's going to hang on here. 2-1. Nice win for Peyton Trout.
10-6 victory puts 3 more points on the board for the Yellow Jackets. Turns our score into 12-4, heading into 133 pounds. And again, we'd like to thank United Community Bank, KLN Family Brands for their sponsorship of bringing you Yellow Jacket Wrestling. 133-pound match is coming to you. Talon Baker for the Detroit Lakes Lakers. Corey Fromuth for Perham. This is brought to you by EOT Insurance. A little bit about each wrestler. Fromuth is a sophomore from the Yellow Jackets, 1-1 on the year. As we get our first, Baker looked good there on that quick takedown. Talon Baker's a 10th grader, 6-5 on the season, and he's up early 3-0 with the first takedown.
Yeah, Baker doing a nice job getting to a sweep single, getting right to work on top. You can see he's working, trying to stack Fromuth up here. There he does.
And that Baker name is synonymous with Detroit Lakes Laker Wrestling. I don't know if he's related, but when he's in this chain wrestling like this, I would have to imagine there's a little of the bloodline right there.
Yeah, he's going from one thing to the next. He's now into a side cradle there.
And a quick fall by Talon Baker. Again, it just goes back to show you how important that Peyton Trout win was, and it could be a different story on the scoreboard right now. 12-10 on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard in favor of the Yellow Jackets, and we're already to 139 pounds, Jesse.
Yeah, we didn't waste any time. We knew this duel might kind of go in a hurry here, but we'll look to see Perm getting to some of their more veteran wrestlers here, and looking forward to the matchups.
Okay, so we see our first after Christmas switch here a little bit. Johnny Ramos had been at 145. He's now coming out at 139 pounds for the Yellow Jackets. So again, you get that 2-point weight variance after Christmas, and he's going to wrestle Everett Northrop out of DL. And if we look at it, Johnny Ramos, a junior, 10-7, was rated early in the state, now has dropped out. Again, sometimes that's a fuel to the fire, and he's coming out firing right now.
Man.
Oh boy, did he get caught.
Johnny in on a single, and that Northrop hit a nice spladle for a takedown and 3 back points.
And Northrop is a senior, 5-6 on the season, but that was nasty right there.
Johnny with an escape, see if he can settle in here. Just has to get back to his technique.
Yeah, again, 1 minute in here. Johnny goes back into, again, looks like he's going to get his own takedown. And again, sometimes you just have to weather that initial storm. Good job by Johnny, now 5-4 in favor of Northrop from Detroit Lakes.
Yeah, you got to credit Johnny. Sometimes a lot of guys don't come out of that spladle, so I know Johnny's a strong guy, especially for his weight, and he's just got to settle in and keep working here, keep the pressure on.
This 139-pound match is brought to you by McCall Construction. Escape there by Northrop, and he takes the 6-4 lead.
Johnny with a nice secondary duck under there, single to a duck. Really nice job. He's got to settle in here.
But Northrop had the head.
Kind of a wild. Referee waved everything. Should be 3.
Another takedown by Ramos. Now he takes the lead 7-6. And boy, this one is like catching lightning in a bottle here, Jesse. Again, Ramos got that 3-point, but he was dangerously close again to giving up that takedown and giving up near fall points. So Johnny's got to be careful here with this guy. He's pretty slippery.
You know, anytime you have a guy with really good hips or some explosive moves, I know Coach Mosier used to really preach, work lower on the leg. If you can get below that knee, a lot of that gets taken away. So look for Johnny to make that adjustment, start finishing below the knee a little bit. Right here, he's in a pretty decent spot.
One of the things I think too, Jesse, is you got to be really technique perfect when you find someone who wants to get into this roly-poly, helter-skelter type. You got to rely on doing things technically correct. Don't fall into their game because that's what they want you to do.
Absolutely. Even right here, Johnny could try to flip him over and, go for some near fall, but just doesn't quite feel like he's got it. That's a veteran move there for Johnny to just tighten it up and go for it again here with a minute left in the period.
Right, sometimes you live to fight another day, and here they go back at it. I think we're going to get an escape, and we do. And we're all tied up at 7s, and again, this has been, I'm not going to say I'm surprised because I know the DL coaching staff and the time they spent, but I think they've really come out and showed some aggressiveness that not that I'm surprised, but I was expecting maybe the Yellow Jackets to kind of take it to them a little bit more than they have. So hats off to the Detroit Lakes coaching staff right now and having these kids ready to go.
Yeah, you can definitely tell this Northrop, his feet don't stop. I mean, it doesn't give Johnny much of a chance to get to his counter offense here. He's in a dogfight.
And I guess the one thing I can say to that is, as you head into tournament time, don't look at records because that's what I was going off of. I saw 5-10, 4-7, 4-7, 6-5, 5-6, and you start it. But nice job by Johnny Ramos.
Duck under right to his back here. He's going to get 3 and 4 near fall for sure. Johnny looking for more. 10 seconds here in the period. See if he can adjust here. There we go.
Boy, Northrop's really staying, and 1 second remaining. It doesn't look like he's going to get it, but he is going to get the 4. So again, that takedown and 4 near fall is a huge point. Now it really has kind of busted this open at 14-7. Johnny takes the down position in period number 3. And again, we'd like to thank McCall Construction for bringing you this match along with a lot of others, United Community Bank, KLN Family Brands, Nias Family Sales, and we'll try to list them as many times as we can. We don't get those chances for timeout and commercial breaks like we do during the basketball games. So again, thank you to all of those sponsors. At the end, we haven't had, knock on wood, one blood timeout yet, sponsored by Perham Health. Again, the wrestler of the match will be coming from Steve's Sanitation, and pins for the win. And we had another fall earlier. That's brought to you by Horace Mann.
Northrop doing a really nice job here. I'm a little surprised the official is letting him do this because he doesn't have his legs in. So therefore, it should be a parallel ride. But Johnny called for stalling on the bottom. Johnny's not working too hard to get out right now. But, if the legs are in there, he calls it on top. That's a good call by the official because when the legs aren't in, you're not going for any offense on top. You're just riding parallel. So Johnny's got to fire off the whistle here and expect some sort of attempt at a roll. Better first move there. But again, Northrop doing a really good job of just being suffocating on top. And
again, he's going back to that parallel ride. If he's going to do that, he's got to get the boots in or get his legs in, hook those ankles. You want to just explain why that parallel ride's so hard to get out of, Jesse?
You can't see it from here, but they're crunching your hips with their hips. And it's just, there's a lot of things that you can't see on the camera that are happening. But if you're the Yellow Jacket coaching staff, you're wanting Johnny to get on his horse here to try to get one more team point for the Jackets.
Right, you'd like to see that explosion out of Johnny right here. And again, sometimes that first cut down, Jesse, makes it really tough, and you kind of lose your energy a little bit. And 10 seconds remaining, and that's what it looks like with Johnny, just a little bit like that first cut down. You just kind of lose your wind. But again, that being said, nice win.
Very nice win.
And boy, you'd like to have gotten that extra point to get that escape because 14-7 leaves it at a regular decision for Johnny Ramos, so only 3 instead of 4. and you just hope those bonus points don't come back to hurt you. I think the Yellow Jackets feel pretty secure in this one. But again, nice job by Johnny on his first night of being at 139.
Yeah, after all the crazy events in the first period and a half, Johnny settled in, got his big 7-point move, and, took the lead and got a good win.
So we're going to go to a 145-pound match, and for the Lakers, it's Donovan Zima, and he is going to face Chevy Heron for the Yellow Jackets. This is brought to you by New Horizons Realty. So thank you to New Horizons Realty, and we'll give you a little update. Chevy Heron, 10th grader, 1-0 on the season. Spent a lot of time on JVs, finished second at the Rumble in the JV, so had a really quality day. Zima, 9th grader, 4-8 on the season.
Yeah, Chevy in on a nice outside single. The Zima seems to not waste any time. Both wrestlers very offensive right off the bat here. Chevy doing a good job working it on the edge, going for kind of a gator roll here. Gets it, has a foot in, which is the new rule, but I don't know if there is a rule for touching the
one. And what I've gathered is once you're on the gym floor, they stop action just because of danger. So it was probably a smart move there by Zima. Escape does happen for Heron. Zima in on a nice shot, but Heron did a nice job.
Zima, but kind of a re-attack by Chevy. Look for him to elevate that opposite elbow as he continues to work behind. He's got into a crossface here. See if he can continue to better his position so that ref doesn't stop it for a stalemate. There he stepped over. That should be 3. There it is.
And Chevy Heron gets that 3-point takedown to take the lead 4-3. 38 seconds remaining here. And again, I think Chevy Heron's one of those high risk as we have an escape here by Zima. I think he's one of those high risk, high reward at DGF. He was down substantially, comes back to pin, and that was a really big 12-point reversal for the Yellow Jackets at that time. And here he's kind of looking for danger points.
Yeah, Chevy's doing a really good job coming out the back. He's got to settle in here. If he can turn toward the head, and now he's in that same spot as he was before. Now he's got to kind of turn to the defense here. Zima doing a nice job at scrambling and working himself into a position to score, but no points after all that, and we're knotted up.
4-4 heading into the second. Again, I believe it's Chevy's choice, and he's going to take down. It's probably the first person who hasn't deferred. Again, what I've seen out of Zima so far, Jesse, and you can correct me, is he's got pretty quick hips. He's off the mat. He doesn't sit very long, and he doesn't let the paint dry underneath him. He's back up.
For sure, and, both of these guys, again, always trying to score from every single position. It's fun to watch these matches where you have two firecrackers out there.
Yeah, and I have a feeling 4-4 is not going to be, we're not going to go, I could see 14-14 is here. Chevy's in the tilt position, and that's a danger one, and we did have a swipe and a swipe.
2-1 counts there, so no points.
They weren't consecutive. You might have seen the official swipe once, and then he hesitated and swiped again, so nothing happened there. No two-pointer for Zima, but again, I thought Chevy was going to halt that there and end up putting Zima on his back.
Yeah, Chevy's showed some big-time strength in that position here. Zima working right to an arm bar. Chevy, if he gets out of this, he's got to make the adjustment of clearing his hands, because when your hands get tied up, that's when you get tilted, that's when you get barred. But he's doing a good job fighting it here, but Zima doing a nice job of taking his time. He's got the elbow tip up. That's exactly how you teach it.
Take that big step over the top. There he does, and he's getting those back points, and this is a bad spot to beat. Nice job by Chevy, though.
He's going to pop right out the back. How about that?
So 4 near fall for Zima, reversal 2 for Heron, 8-6 in favor of Zima. 18 seconds remaining. Zima put a lot of energy into that, so seeing if he can pop up to get that point. But Chevy's doing a nice job kind of going, and here goes Zima right up as soon as I say that with 5 seconds remaining.
Be nice for Chevy to stay on top here to keep it to a 2-point. He's going to hang on. There we go. Good job.
And again, if you don't think we're going to have fireworks, you just have to watch that last flurry right there, because Zima wasn't going to settle for one. He was trying to throw Chevy to his back and making it a lot more. And again, we got a lot of scoring, I believe, yet to come here in period number 3. 8-6 in favor of Zima from DL.
We'll see who's got more in the gas tank here. You know, like you said, who knows whose new weight class this could be. Zima doing a good job. Chevy going for a big one.
And I would say that's the one. There we go. Makes it
should be
9-6. And
9-6.
I looked over there on the Otter Tail Power scoreboard, and I just saw that change. So 9-6. Oh, good shot right in on that single. But Chevy's done a nice job in this position. But good job of using that hips by Zima now on its back.
Zima did a really nice job climbing the ladder there. Chevy kind of rested on his hip there, which is never a good thing. But Zima.
Boy, this would be huge, and there it is. Boy, that's a big fall, as that one was a 50-50 chance. And a fall by Zima. Again, that's one you just don't want to give up, and that changes the scoreboard around. And for the first time tonight, puts the Detroit Lake Lakers on top going into 152 pounds.
Yeah, big win for the Lakers there. You know, from a coaching standpoint, you know, I like to think about all the things that are easy fixes for Chevy. I mean, he's right there. A couple little technical things, and he's going to be a force here in the future. Oh. Forfeit.
Yeah, so Wacker, they were open. So, again, that short-lived lead by DL. Wacker comes in. He'll take that easy victory. And ninth graders on 6-11 on the season. And again, they had a quality wrestler coming out at 152, I believe. Jeremy Lynn was 10-7 on the year. So we head to 160. Jack Shivers Realty on our quickest match of the night is the forfeit. This 160 pounds is Billy Thompson from DL. Carson Zeise with the early 3 takedown to give him a 3-0 lead right off the bat.
Yeah, nice high crotch by Carson Zeise right away. We'll see if Coach Vetz wants him to stay. Oh, there it is with the escape right away. He wants to get to work.
And again, this is kind of where you're hitting that role for the Yellowjackets of probably their more seasoned wrestler, as another takedown by Zeise, hanging on to that ankle now, trying to elevate. Zeise's a sophomore, 13-8 on the season. Has wrestled some really tough kids. Billy Thompson's a senior, 3-10 on the season. And again, Zeise lets him free. So 6-2 with 1:10 remaining on the scoreboard.
Zeise going forward. Now work to the other leg. Thompson doing a nice job hipping over, but Zeise bails at the right time. Comes behind for his 3.
And again, that's what some of the growth you see is Zeise's going to push him off for another escape. Make it 9-3, 45 seconds remain on the scorecard. Drops down nice into a single leg, shelves it, roll through here. Nice roll through by Thompson. And again, a little bit more mat space, and I think he would have had his 3 because Zeise's hand was down on the mat, just could not have enough room to finish that move. So 9-3 yet, 30 seconds remain, period number 1.
You know, these DL wrestlers tonight, you got to give them a little bit of credit on just kind of their big movability. They're not giving up the easy takedown. They're throwing haymakers from all over the place, but it forces the Yellowjackets to stay technically sound. And so far, they've made the adjustments pretty well. But here we go again, kind of in a whizzer position. But as you get into these spots, the lower you can stay on the leg, it takes that away.
Yeah, it looked like a little headlock position here. Now both wrestlers here was where they're on the mat.
Should be 3 at the
3
buzzer.
right at the buzzer, and you can see a little. Thompson didn't want to give that one up, and he was battling there. So 12-3 going into period number 2. Zeise takes neutral. Again, this 160-pound match between Billy Thompson and Carson Zeise is brought to you by Lakes Ace Hardware.
Really nice adjustment by Carson there. Knowing that front roll's coming, he went right to the other ankle and got his 3.
Now leads 15-3, so again, pretty soon you're going to have to start thinking another takedown. If you give the escape up, you're probably looking for a pinfall type move. If you are, and that pin would be brought to you by Horace Mann. But again, Zeise looks a little more like he wants to do some work here, but we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah, Zeise doing a good job. He could have ran that bar over, but kind of got a little bit loose, so he reset it rather than trying to run it over there, especially with there he's got a kind of a splash cradle. But again, Thompson, you got to give him credit. He's throwing some big moves, but here he ends up on his back. This is going to be it if Zeise doesn't get the fall here.
And I'm thinking here it won't be long because the new rule is, Jesse, you don't, once it is, and there it is, you don't let them keep going even if it's in a pinhold combination. So 19-3, Carson Zeise, tech fall winner, runs your scoreboard to 26-16 in favor of the hometown Yellow Jackets, heading to 172 pounds. Again, we'd like to thank Lakes Ace Hardware, Jack Shivers Realty, New Horizons, McCall Constructions, EOT Insurance, Hanson's Plumbing and Heating, Nias Family Sales, KLN Family Brands, and United Community Bank, plus others we'll mention up here shortly. Again, there could be some movement here by both teams, I believe. So this was where the double weigh-ins came in, so we'll see what happens. Okay, so we do have some movement by the Yellow Jackets, and this has been happening. Larson comes out before I can even say anything, and he takes a 3-0 lead and then gives up the escape, I believe. I didn't see an escape. They didn't give them to him yet, but it is. So takedown and escape. Again, this 172-pound match is brought to you by Hammers Construction. And again, another takedown and some back points here by Larson.
Larson being extremely aggressive off the whistle, not wasting any time here. No back points on that last little flurry.
Larson, a junior, 14-8 on the season. Again, I'll have to do some research here. They threw in Brian Morrison. I didn't have him on my initial lineup, but I'll find out if he has any varsity experience as we go here.
Larson seems to want to settle in here, see if he can hook something up. Minute left in the first period here.
Brian Morrison's a senior, 0-1 on the season. So again, it does set up kind of what we talked about, our feature matchup coming up here. But again, we got
a slam call here on Larson. I think the rule on it wasn't that egregious of a slam, but anytime you control your opponent's wrist, you have to allow them to have a supporting point to catch themselves, I think is kind of what the official was thinking there.
So we have 2 takedowns, an escape, and a penalty point. Again, making it 6-2. Again, thanking a lot of our sponsors here. And amazingly enough, we haven't had a blood timeout, which, knock on wood or whatever this desk is made of that we're sitting at, Jesse. But again, Perham Health bringing a blood timeout and an easy night for Coach McEachran so far, sitting over there. I can't imagine the number of years that man has sat on that sideline and just been the steady cause of all cleanup whenever is needed.
Absolutely. As we found out at the state tournament last year, all it takes is one match to have a doozy of a blood timeout, and that can throw a wrench into your evening. I think we were at 15 minutes last year down there with a wrestler from Pequot Lakes that just could not get his blood to stop.
Right, and it took us, I think it was a 26-minute match that you and I called or had down there, and I think that was the record for the whole tournament. So you never know. I should knock on wood here. Second period, Morrison's in the down position. Again, 6-2 is the score. Kind of weathered that flurry a little bit. Tristan Larson came out like he was shot out of a cannon, and now again Morrison's just kind of staying in it. So look for Tristan to go back to some of those things we talked about. Sometimes those high-flying things are great. Going back to what the basics is even better.
Yeah, for sure. He's putting on a really good ride here. He may not be getting points, but he's definitely draining the gas tank of his opponent here. Look for Tristan to hook something up, or I'm sure Coach Vetch will tell him, let's go on our feet and score.
Right, and I have no idea. I've never been in that situation. I just know from talking to other wrestlers that shoulder pressure is just devastating after a time, and trying to work yourself up to your base. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a stall call at some point. Head hasn't been off the mat. I think
they gave one over here. It was very subtle, but I think he did call stalling on red, I believe. I could be wrong, but I thought I saw him over there in the corner call it.
It's just one of those, you've got to get a little bit of effort, and if your head's on the mat for too long, you're not showing that you're trying to get out of there. And there's the escape. 45 seconds remaining on the scoreboard. Larson up 6-3 now.
Nice double leg by Larson. Really nice adjustment there, not trying to go for the big pin out of there. Settling in, getting the 3.
Yeah, again, and now he allows the escape again. 25 seconds remaining, so unless he's really feeling confident, I think this is the last probably let him up. You might be looking for some back points. There's the next 3.
And when Larson stays down below the knee like that, he's so fast and strong that, it's super tough for his opponent to even react, because, your ankles are basically tied together, and it's a great move out of Tristan.
Right, and I like the adjustment from period 1. The high-flying stuff is fun to watch, but I love how he's doing things technically correct right now, and the coaching staff has to love that as well. And again, good for Tristan to make that adjustment here, doing a nice job leading 12-4 heading into period number 3.
Tristan in on a single leg, straight single. Good double leg finish. See if he can get some near fall out of this. I think the referee's holding 4. It's tough to see down there in front of us, but.
Yeah, lights are off. It's kind of tight here with the bar in there, but 4 would end this. So if he has given him 4 and the pin does not happen, which Larson's working for that pin yet, minute 20, so a lot of time. But if Morrison, there's the fall. So great job by Tristan holding on to that. He ends up winning by fall. Now running the score to 32-16, and it wasn't that long ago, Jesse, that we were right there, and DL had just taken their first lead, and that just shows you having an empty weight class sometimes flips the script in an awful hurry.
Yeah, it's huge, and I think that we're going to get the matchup here we were waiting for. I believe. We'll find out, see what Bruce has to say.
Right, we have Tegan Detloff against Ryan Francis, and this is one that we had talked about earlier. This one's brought to you by the Perham Area Community Center. Again, we'd like to thank them. Tegan Detloff's had a fantastic start to the year, 21-3, finished 3rd at the Rumble in the Red, arguably one of the toughest individual tournaments around here. And again, he's tried to find the toughest hombre in the house and take him on every night. And for Ryan Francis, he's a junior, 16-5 on the season. I know he's had some success at the Paul Bunyan, I can't remember what that one's called, but he had a nice finish there. So a good matchup here. Again, the way Tegan's wrestling, I sure like him. I think I'd go to battle with him 9 times or probably 10 times out of 10.
Yeah, and the thing with Tegan is he doesn't go backwards. He's constantly, you can see it already, he's shot and shot and shot, and he continues to work, and his length causes such a problem for his opponent. I know he's bumping up a weight class, but doing a really nice job, almost on the edge, dragging his toes. But again, he had to work for that, and you can see a visible size difference here, but that just goes to Tegan's character, knowing he's given up the weight and he wants the better matchup. So he's going to work no matter who's out there, and he's going to keep getting after it.
Well, the one thing you can always say about Tegan, I don't care what, you could put him out there against a heavyweight. He's not relying on any one thing. He has a good balance of everything, and he's a great technician when it comes to the sport of wrestling. So, again, that's the things that make him really good. But now you see a really good battle here as Francis is trying to muscle him a little bit. And again, it's a little different approach than we've seen people with Tegan. Tegan with the early shot here.
Yeah, you can see Tegan, I mean, he took that shot in the center of the mat and worked all the way across. So both men have a stalling call here already early in the match. That could play huge dividends, as you get going. But a good reshot by Tegan here.
And you can see 5 seconds remaining in this period, Jesse. Francis is, what his strategy is, in my eyes, is let Tegan shoot, and then I'm going to be heavy on you and try to put that weight on, kind of like you would see in a heavyweight or 285-pound match. I'm going to wear you down, and then we'll see what we can do at the end of this process.
Yeah, for sure. You can definitely see it at the college level. A lot of people complain about lack of action in college, but there's so much going into trying to wear your opponent out and then taking your openings as you get them. So we'll see who's got more in the gas tank here. I mean, Tegan's continuing to fire off shots.
Right, there's a great example. Tegan takes the shot. We're 20 seconds in, and we've been on that high head. And, again, just wearing on Detloff. Again, Tegan is just so good offensively and such a good technician. You see how he battles that right there. He was trying to drag that toe just like a good receiver would in football and keep his balance and also get that takedown.
Yeah, if he had a little more space there on that slide by, he might have got it, because that can be a cheap one, but it's a nice takedown attempt here. Minute 20 left in the period. Look for Tegan to keep firing.
We go right back to that low shot. Front headlock position, just wearing on him right now. And again, it's a little bit.
Tegan's getting him to react a lot more in the last couple fakes. He's got him down to the ground. Tegan continuing to run his feet. See if he can score here at the edge. He's in a pretty good spot. Nice job. That should be. Oh, he waved it off. Oofta. That's tough. He gave the 3, and Tegan kind of settled a little bit, and that's tough. You gotta overcome that. But Tegan really getting him to react a lot more now, and look for him to get a lot more openings.
Well, and you see Tegan going up and then down now. So again, he's trying to go up and down, make him work for this, but again, stretching it out. I think that second stall call is going to come as he keeps driving him out of bounds. At some point, Francis has to center back to the thing. I loved what the Perham coaching staff said. Tegan, keep going. Don't assume anything. You could have scored more than 3. Yep. So they're taking that approach of getting him to the state tournament, and you wrestle till the very end.
For sure, and you're seeing Tegan continue to just go. There's that second stall call. And I don't think that'll be the last one.
And it balances up that score 1-1. And again, Tegan has his choice going into the third period. 5 seconds remain here on your Otter Tail Power scoreboard. And this is exactly what we had drawn up, Jesse, when we said if this happens, this is going to be a good one.
For sure. And, if Tegan can get to his feet here and continue to put the pressure on, look for him to force Francis into a kind of an inopportune shot, or make him feel like he's got to go because he's, getting close on another stall call here. But Tegan to his feet. Look for Tegan to continue to wear on him here.
And Tegan hasn't wrestled with the lead yet, so now he's finally up 2-1, which puts a little more pressure on Francis. He has to score. He can't rely on this, and again, it looks like he's wearing down Francis a little bit, but
he's running his feet to it. Very nice. Francis's feet are starting to slow down a little bit. He's already taken 3 quality shots here in the first part of this third period. So
one thing I'll say, Francis circled that time. I think that benefits him in the referee's eyes, and I think he's looking, and there's the first shot by Francis, half-hearted shot. But again, if you're going to take a shot on the edge of the mats, where you want to do it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Minute left in the period. Francis knows he's got to do something here. For one, he's down a point, but for two, Teagan's still putting the pressure on. So there's that shot. Francis in a decent spot here. Teagan looking to pass that ankle, see if he can continue to work his head high here. Teagan might be okay with just a stalemate.
Again, if he holds on to that, but Francis is that power. I think what you're seeing, Jesse, is that different size. He's working his way around, but the hips are coming up here for Detloff, and the crowd is into this one.
Yep, there it is, a stalemate.
And again, you wonder if you're Detloff, have you just fended off Francis's best shot? And if you have, now you know where you're at, and you can take your own offense. Both guys look a little winded right now.
Absolutely, and that's how Teagan wrestles. He leaves it all out there. There's another shot by Detloff.
Again, you got to think you're going to get some fireworks from Francis at some point. There's 25 seconds remaining. He has to try. It doesn't matter at this point probably if you get pinned or lose by one. Again, Teagan combats that with a shot of his own.
10 seconds here in the period. Half-hearted shot by Francis. Teagan staying in good spot.
We'll hop around.
He's okay here. He's still got the leg. A good win.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. 2-1 victory there over Francis. And don't forget that name either. Francis is going to do some damage in Section 8 AA individuals.
Yeah, that's a good quality match for both guys. Obviously, you love to see those before the end of the year because it's only going to make you better. The thing that I was keeping track of Teagan's shot there, he took 7 shots in the third period, and I think that was the difference. I mean, he kept the pressure on, didn't give Francis a chance to recover.
And I missed who's coming out here. I think it's Dan Weber. I'm not positive. They weighed in like 3 guys at this. I know that we have Logan Gook out at 215, so I'm going to go with Dan Weber. Gook with the quick takedown, Weber with the escape. Weber is a 11th grader, 2-7. Gook with another takedown. Logan Gook's a junior, 8-10. Again, he's going back in on this. He's up 6-2 already, and this one is brought to you by Bremer Bank.
Gook with a deep half here, doing a really nice job getting those takedowns. See if he can settle in here and get the fall.
And he does, just as you called, right on target. Quick fall there by Logan Gook. Again, the Yellow Jackets taking once was a really close score and kind of opening it up here, and it's been good wrestling. And again, you got to hand it to the Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, just some veteran guys for the Yellow Jackets coming out and doing what they need to do at home for their team to get a good section win.
So we're at 285 pounds. Elias Okeson on the mat for Detroit Lakes, and Lou Harms on the mat for the Yellow Jackets. Lou Harms coming in at 4-8. He's a sophomore and kind of coming into his own here, and again is doing a nice job and gaining confidence as he goes. And I'll have to look up quickly, and I'll kind of turn it over to Jesse as we had a bunch of different guys in there, and I'll find out more about Elias Okeson.
Yeah, Lou Harms is young heavyweight for the Jackets, had a really nice JV portion of the Rumble on the Red, found his way on the podium, and I think Lou is continuing to get better week to week, and he's got the physical stature part down, and just he's a big fella that is going to continue to get some technique, and he's being coached really well, and he's got some good teammates in the room getting him better and filling in for Cash Burke, who's had a few injuries and a few different things come up this season, but it's fun to see Lou out there.
And a little bit more on Elias Okeson, sophomore as well, Jesse. So we've got years in the making of 285-pound weight class for both of these teams. He's the sophomore, 0-0, so his opening night here. And I know there was some adjustments in there, and that's why we're doing our best to get it to you. Lou Harms doing a nice job just bouncing and staying heavy on the head.
Yeah, kind of a front headlock opportunity. The old heavyweight in me would have loved to have seen him let the head come up and shoot that double leg, but that'll come. look for Lou to commit to some of his offense here, see if he can get Okeson out of position.
Again, at the conclusion of this 285-pound weight match, we'll step away. Jesse and I have some things to decide, like Steve Sanitation, wrestler of the match, maybe the best pin for the win by Horace Mann. And again, we'd like to thank Otter Tail Power for the scoreboard and Perham Health for 0 blood timeouts so far tonight, which may be a record within itself.
Yeah. I didn't catch who chose neutral there, but
I didn't. I like what Lou's doing, and I'm hoping that
do an underhook here. Headlock attempt by Okeson, but arms in a good spot. Very good job fending that headlock off for the takedown.
Again, nice job by Lou. He just sat in the chair, kind of like you're taught when you start elementary wrestling. And again, here he's kind of chin dropping him right back.
That should be
the
back
mat.
points. There it is. See if Lou can get his points and then work his way on top. That's a big man to fight off your back with. See if he can get 90 here and work his hips over.
Get those feet. There it is. Nice job, Lou Harms, with the fall early in the second period. And that's going to run your final score, I believe, to
46-16.
Okay, and again, nice job. 47-16. Nice job by the Yellow Jackets tonight. Ultimately really taking what was once a really good match at 16-15 and kind of running the gamut at the end. So we're going to step away, kind of honor our sponsors here for a little bit. We'll come back with Steve Sanitation, wrestler of the match. We'll talk about the Horace Mann pin for the win. And again, 0 blood timeouts. Jesse, I don't know that I've ever heard it. So stay with us. We'll be right back with all of our post-game show coming up next.
At Nias Family Sales, our experienced mechanics are here to provide exceptional service in a timely manner. With 10 service bays, the service department at Nias Family Sales can work on all makes and models. Our experienced mechanics can do everything from oil changes, tire repairs, brake service, engine and transmission repair, and much more. Schedule your vehicle today. Call 218-346-5976 or visit the Nias Family Sales Service Center at 610 East Main Street in Perham.
Since 1980, more families have trusted Jack Chivers Realty than anyone else in the Lakes area. I'm Blake Olson, the owner of Jack Chivers Realty. Our dedicated agents have a deep understanding of the area.
We live here and our kids go to school here. Let us find the perfect home for you and your family, or lean on our knowledge and marketing to sell your home. Find out how Chivers delivers right here in Perham. Reach out today and start packing. JackChiversRealty.com.
At the Perham Area Community Center, we have something for everyone. Let us help you reach your fitness goals, connect with others, or just have a little fun. We offer a state-of-the-art weight room, weight resistance and cardio machines, and inspiring spin studio. If walking is your preference, our walking track is just the thing for you. We have over 20 fitness classes offered weekly. Yoga, Zabit, Strength, and Senior Fit, those are just a few. Our aquatic center is equipped with a 6-lane lap pool, kiddie pool, and water slide. Adults can relax in the sauna and hot tub. We also offer water fitness classes and open swim for the family. Find your fit at the Pack. We'd love to have you here.
Yes, garbage is gross, but here at Steve Sanitation, we are your trash experts with experience to back it up. At Steve Sanitation, we know how to schedule your trash pickups without missing a beat, and we have been doing it for over 30 years in Perham and the Lakes area. Steve Sanitation has been voted the best garbage service in the Lakes area since 2019. With 30 dedicated employees, we're here to take care of your trash. For more information, call us at 218-346-4834 or visit our website at stevesanitation.com. Horseman Investments and Insurance can help you with your retirement planning goals and insurance protection needs. Kyle Van Dyke and his team provides educated retirement solutions, wealth management strategies, inheritance and legacy planning, and personalized auto, homeowners, and life insurance protection plans. We are here for your lifelong financial wellness. To set up an appointment, call Kyle Van Dyke at 218-236-6665 or email at kyle.vandyke@horseman.com.
Welcome back into the Hive as the Yellow Jackets take the Section 8 AA battle here on the 549 Media Network. 47-16 over the Detroit Lakers, and we have a few things that we want to talk about. Again, we had some Horace Mann pin for the win. I think one of the big ones was Beckham Bunkowski coming right out at the beginning, Jesse, and kind of setting the tone.
Yeah, big time. That can be huge, especially down the stretch. Momentum is a real thing, and just having your firecracker come out and get the ball rolling, that kind of sets the tone for the whole evening.
Yeah, he did a really nice job, and again, he set the tone a lot of times for these Yellow Jackets, and it's such an important thing when you're in North Dakota or you have some other areas where you kind of flip the coin and you start at different weight classes. It's not quite the same, but here in Minnesota, when you're always starting at that 107-pound weight class, you kind of want to have a hammer down there that you can rely on, if not to get you 6, just keep you off of not giving up 6.
Absolutely, and I think Beckham will continue to just kind of be a staple for the Yellow Jackets as he gets better. And you got a couple more months before the end of the year, and I fully expect him to continue to make strides and just better his wrestling game.
Yeah, again, so the Horace Mann pin for the win goes to Beckham Bunkowski. Our Steve Sanitation wrestler of the match. We went through lots of people, Jesse, in that break time there. We talked about Tristan Larson really had a great match for the Yellow Jackets, I thought. Just seeing the confidence in Lou Harms, that was a great match, and he threw his name in. We talked about Bunkowski. We could work our way down the list, but one person kind of stood out to us, and it kind of stemmed the tide and got us going in the right direction. So I'll let you fill us in just a little bit more.
Yeah, we're going to give it to Peyton Trout this evening. The way that match started, Peyton kind of got into a little bit of a hole and worked his way back into the match and got to where he feels comfortable and confident, and worked himself to a really good win for the Jackets at a time when they really needed one.
And an 8th grader wrestling a senior. Vargas, no slouch, and was doing a lot of great things. Hats off to Peyton Trout on a really good night, and I think that was a spark that really got the Yellow Jackets going. And again, they stemmed the tide, and you have to feel a little bit for Detroit Lakes. They finally took the lead at 152, either sickness or injury. They had to be open. They do have a wrestler, a very qualified wrestler at that weight, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to the Yellow Jackets for getting to the point and weathering the storm a little bit and closing out a match the way you should. And you talk about being the 1 seed in the section or the possibility of it, and we wrestled like it tonight.
Right, and the work doesn't get any easier for this Yellow Jacket wrestling team. They get on the bus again tomorrow, and they're off to face 2 teams that are in the lean and mean category. So those of you new to wrestling, top 12, the next, I think, 6 or 7 teams are in the lean and mean, which means you're right there getting votes for being in the state, and that's Hutchinson, Buffalo Lake, Hector, and Dawson, Boyd, Lacoparo, Montevideo United. And if it all falls true, Brody Wacker kind of had a nice night getting Mr. Forfeit tonight. He's going to have 2 guys rated in the state tomorrow. So that's kind of the story of wrestling, Jesse, is you don't rest on a victory no matter what kind of victory it is, because tomorrow's another day.
Well, and for a lot of these guys, we talked about possibly their first weight cut down to a new weight class, and now you have to do it again tomorrow. You have to celebrate your win tonight, but check your weight before you get to bed and make sure that you're on track for tomorrow and you get the energy that you need to go compete against some quality teams. And again, some teams you don't always see, but a lot of those names, ring in my ears with the announcers from the XL Center, because there's a lot of guys from those schools who have represented themselves at the state tournament, and it'll be fun to see the result.
Absolutely, and coming up on the 549 Media Network next week, Tuesday, the 14th, girls basketball against Breckenridge. Join Jason and maybe myself. We'll see how this all goes, but we will be on air with that. And then next Thursday, Jesse and I will be back here to cover wrestling. The Yellow Jackets wrestling at UNC, which is a combination of Monaga and Sabika, and a really formidable opponent.
Yeah, they've really done a good job over there the last few years of kind of setting themselves up to be a very quality team year in and year out. And they've come here and beat us a few times, and we've also beat them, and it's just a fun rivalry, not that far down the road, different classes. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're both going to be rooting for each other down at the state tournament or in the section tournaments. So it'll be fun to have them join us.
And some real possibility of some really, really good matchups in that one. So if you can't make it into the Hive, please join us here on the 549 Media Network. With that, Jesse, I think we're about wrapped up. My final thoughts are, Coach Vetch and his staff really have these boys ready to rumble. No pun intended, coming off the rumble on the red, but really doing a super nice job, and they're fun to watch. So again, for Jesse Hine giving me a lot of knowledge, Jason Groth running the controls over here. My name's Lance Rock. Thank you for joining the 5-4 Media Network tonight. Yellow Jackets with a victory over Detroit Lakes Lakers.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's 549 media production of Perham Yellowjacket activities. Tonight's broadcast was proudly brought to you by KLN Family Brands, Perham Health, and United Community Bank. Tonight's game was also brought to you by EOT Insurance, Hammers Construction, Horace Mann, Jack Chivers Realty, and Lakes Ace Hardware. Tonight's broadcast was also brought to you by these proud sponsors: New Horizons Realty, Nice Family Sales, Otter Tail Power Company, McCall Construction, and Hanson's Plumbing and Heating. Once again, thank you for tuning in to tonight's game on the 549 Media Network.